Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I don't have a bingo. I can sort the rack out by playing FAP. I'm wondering if I have a 5-letter play which places the F on a double-letter square. Well, even if there is, there probably isn't much between these plays because this rack leave is quite good, and strategically FAP is quite good because it has limited opportunities for my opponent. Great, that looks pretty bingo-y. Delane and Aliened are the 7-letter plays. I think the only alternative to consider at the moment is whether there's a play in column 8 beginning or ending with an A. And I don't think there is. Just need to wait and see what my opponent provides. Hopefully he won't block all my bingos. Maze only takes an S at the end. So I have Delane, which plays in row J because AM takes an E. Now what about Aliened? And what about column 11 for a play through the Z? I've got the IZED ending. Can't see anything there. Nothing goes in front of PA that I've got. So I've got Aliened making aim and pad. Can I extend that any further? No. Now what about Delane? No. So it looks like Aliened is best. Just pausing because I could have played that above FAP, making F and Dam. But I don't think there's any difference in the score. Alien 71. Not great. Fortunately, I do have a vowel. This is quite a hot spot from H12 across, especially if I can get my Y over that E, and I can with Yurt. Not a great rack leave, but it's quite a good score. I'm looking at the vowels on the board, the E of Maze and the A and I of Aliened, in case I've got a bingo. And I know that through this I, I've got the ING ending, so I may have well, it would be a bingo ending ING. I was looking for a double-double, but any double-double would be a bingo ending ING. And there isn't one that I can see. Right, how to sort this rack out. I certainly want to play off the Y and the U and the G. Plus one more. So a play of Dungy would work. Can't see anywhere for that. I've got drying through the I, but that retains the U. Can't see anything down from the Z. I can't play over the top of wind. I've got nothing to go in front of WE. Nothing goes after pad that I've got. So what about Gaudy? That achieves most of what I was looking to achieve. Or all of it, actually. It gets rid of GUY plus one more. 24 points. Fantastic. I draw a blank and I have got a bingo-y rack. I've got snurtled in column 15 onto the D. That stays available. Jetliner is good, I think. I think it's jet plane which went out. That doesn't play with the J in this spot. I can't see a play through that J. So I've got snurtled all 1 point tiles, so I just have to avoid putting the blank on this double letter square. It would be better not to place the S at A15 because placing it there makes it easy for my opponent to bingo across. So, do I have a play which doesn't begin with S in that spot? Almost certainly. Just pausing in case I'm overlooking a double-double. And I'm wondering about 10 drill or 10 drills with 2 L's. I don't think that's good. I've got the inter prefix. 15 minutes on my clock, 59 tiles left. And we're pretty much dead level on score. I could also have a play beginning with the D. So I'm imagining a D on my rack. That looks possible. Well, I'm surprised I haven't seen more playable bingos already. This looks a pretty good rack. Maybe it's the curse of having spotted a bingo and then being harder to find a second one. Trendily. Okay, well that doesn't begin or end with a D. Right, I'm playing snurtled. $77. Not good. I'm wondering about bunk up. It's possible that that's a new word. That would certainly sort the rack out. I may be confusing it with bunky. I've got junk in column 1, which is good. Great, it stays available. It doesn't play off both U's. But it does score well, 45 points. Still not good, but I do draw another vowel, which should help me to sort this rack out. I've got a 100-point lead. A lot of tiles still to come. Buyout is good, but I would need a U for that. No obvious hotspots for this rack. Now my opponent's played off an S for just 2 points, so he's probably got an S sitting on his rack now. So I don't want to provide an easy S spot. Now I'm wondering if I've got to play through this S, ending on this double letter square. Well, I could play bogey down here. The U and P have some synergy. 28 points is a good score. And I have peanuts. And I'm just wondering if that has the anagram pesant. If it does, I have pesants in row A. I think I will try that, although I have some doubt. Do I have an alternative bingo? Quite a few floaters to consider on this board. Petunias. Well, that needs an I, and unfortunately the eye of wind doesn't work. It would be good to put the S on the end of maize for score. Supinate is the anagram of petunias. That doesn't work either. I've got the un and the up beginning. I've got the S ending. Gam. Okay, that doesn't provide anywhere for peanuts, so I'm going to try pesants. It'll be annoying if it comes off. £80 points. Not a great rack, but I do have the W for score. So I've got Dowie on my rack. I'm not feeling good about pesants. Now Dowie does play in column 13 parallel to bogey for quite a good score. Making oboe sow. Great, it stays on. So this is what I've got. Dowie for 40. I could stick an R on the end, but I think I'll keep the R on my rack for vowel consonant balance, and also because it retains this R hook possibility for next go. Not great drawing both these, but the rest of the rack is good. So if I could play off both these in one go, I'd be in good shape. I could play Rev in row O and Dowier. 28 points, quite good. I can't see a way of playing both of these. Through an A, I would have Vav. Great, my opponent has challenged. He loses 5 points. I'm now 230 points ahead. Onto an E, I would have Verve. Well, my opponent plays an A, but not somewhere that works for both these. My V can go in front of Ugh. But what can I do there? I think I can only play Rev. It's a shame to play my E because there's only 3 left. And if you take out the 2 Vs, I've got an excellent rack of EIRST. It is tempting to just exchange the 2 Vs, given how strong EIRST is, and given how open the board is. But if I played Verst and Vug, I would get 30 points. So I can't see that changing is the thing to do, especially as I want to expedite the end of the game. What about Verl? 14 points. And it's keeping quite a good rack. EIST is a good 4-letter rack leave. It's significantly improved by the R. And I think this is better than Verst. The S is certainly worth about 8 points. 9 minutes on my clock. It doesn't feel great though. Well, I can get 30 just by playing Rev. I don't have to play off my S. Horrible rack lead, but it's a good score. Can I really not play off both these? Still one blank to come. Can't see anything with the V on this triple letter square in row N. Okay, I think I'll go with this. The rack lead, although it isn't great, has scoring potential with the V. Okay, well, I think that's worked out quite well. If I can play Vox, then my rack lead is good. And Vox does play in row B under Pesance. Can't see anywhere else for it at the moment. I could play XI and Yex in column 14. That's pretty good. 44 points. Great score. Just looking around for any other hotspots for the X. Can't see anywhere. So Vox in row B has the advantage of a good rack lead. XI in column 14 has the advantage of a good score. I haven't seen anywhere else good for the X. Great, both those spots remain available. My opponent's provided nothing new. I'm inclined to go for score. This doesn't open up this triple word square. 44 points is a good score. Pretty good. I think there is a bingo here. Well, there's Travois, that plays in row B, making Pi and S. And I think Viators is also good. Travois also plays in row D, making Ire and C. Does it have any more anagrams? So Viators, Travois. $28 for my opponent. I'm looking to see if I can play in row C to get the play doubled. I can't. So I'm going to play Travois down here. For 78. I draw the blank, which is good. I've got the Q but no U. So I'll probably be using the blank as a U. Well, I'll certainly have that option. Nice bingo by my opponent, 76 points. So, and no tiles left. So I can see what my opponent's got. He's got HLOR. I'm looking around to see if he can go out in one. And more particularly, if he can go out in one in more than one spot, such that I need to block. I can't see any out for him. Now, I've got 7 minutes left. My Q can go over the I of Christie. I could play QI with the blank as an I for over 40 points. Where else can I play my Q? The disadvantage of doing that, and let me put this on the board, is that if my opponent can't go out, then it would be nice to go out, so I need to plan for an out in 2. So do I have an out with these 5 tiles? I can't see a 5 on the rack. So maybe there's something better than QI. I've got toque on my rack. And quote. So I could play quote over the top of farce. That would leave me with NT. Not great. 5 minutes on my clock. This is the stage of the game when it's possible to lose a lot of points. It's very hard to, or can be very hard to find the optimal play. It's really hard to find anywhere for my cue to go, except I could play it here. Let me see what this scores. .44. So can I go out with NTT? I don't think so. Very few vowels. That's really the problem. Very few vowels on the board. So let me put this back. What else is there? Yex takes nothing after it, so the whole bottom quarter of the board is out of action. Can't see anything beginning with the K. So if I do play QI up here, and I'm inclined to do so, it's pretty much the same number of points as toque, but more flexibility in the rack leave. I think I'll play this and save time for optimizing my remaining tiles. So 42 points. I don't think my opponent can go out. I may be able to. I may have overlooked an out with this rat. Through an R, I would have Taunton. Now, what about the I gap L? Can't see anything there. "12 minutes on my opponent's clock. Just so few options here. Now, aim takes an N after it. So I could play TON. Oh, well, HO takes a T in front and an O. What a shame I don't have a 5-letter play here. So I can play tote. Now I may actually have two goes. My opponent's got LR. That's not a great combination. Does he have two spots? Well, he's got RIL down here. Has he got a second out? Well, he might. I'm not going to spend time looking for it. I think I'll take the score for here. $18 points. I think not's going to be better because if my opponent doesn't go out, I think the E will have more scoring potential. 18 points. So at the moment all I've seen for my opponent is rel. Great, my opponent challenges, he loses 5 points. For my E, I can place it up here, making T and N for 8 points. Travois takes an E at the end, but Vug doesn't take an E in front. I've got U, E and O for 8 points. Oboe for 6. Well, my opponent's taking a while. Maybe he hasn't spotted rel. He does, and he goes out, so pass to end the game. And the final score, 315 to my opponent, 593 to me, a winning margin of 278 points. So a massive, massive win. Let's see what I missed. And I'll reply to those messages later. So, history. Examine. This was the start of the game. And panda. Well, that retains the F, so not so good. So I like fap. My opponent's rack, he plays maze. This was my rack. Alien Delane, the only available bingos. My opponent's rack, he plays wind. This was a tricky one. Gandhi was playable. I played Gaudy. Gauntry, nice play. Not sure why Gaudy doesn't appear down here, but I think it's fine. My opponent plays Jodel, and this is a great rack for me. There was a double-double through IL into till. Well, that's not a word I know. And then snurtled and trindled. Trindled would have been a marginally better play. My opponent's rack. He changes. And I played junk. That looks fine. My opponent's rack, he plays zoos. And now I have pouty down here for 36. Pretty good score. Bogey for 28. Not too far behind. UPT, I think, is nicer than BG. And it gives less away. My opponent's rack, he plays Gam. And now Pesauance was good and was the only playable bingo. So delighted to have spotted that. Horrible rack for my opponent. He changes. This is my rack. I played Dowie for 40. And that looks fine. My opponent's rack, he plays Bow. And this is where I was thinking about jettisoning the two Vs. I could have played them both off with Viva, G4. Making F and Brame. Nice play. But it would also have gotten rid of 3 good bingo-y tiles, so I think Rev is fine. My opponent's rack, he plays Farce. Now this is my rack. Socks for 57. Where's that? L14. Wow, Sows, Geo and Yex. Yep, I didn't consider that. Ooh, and Ox down here. I played XI for 44. Certainly Ox would have been a better play. Overlooked the O hook for G. Now this is my opponent's rack. He plays high. I play Travois, and that looks best. Nice rack for my opponent. He plays Christie, and now we're into the end game. Toke, that was the play I saw. Didn't like too much. Now F2, Chin, keeping Tote. Was Tote playable in 2 spots? Well, if it was, then I think Chin was the play. Just seeing if my opponent had an out. He didn't. He played Ho. And now I didn't have an out and played one of these 4-letter plays, not. And finally, Rill was the only out, so I perhaps could have blocked that. Anyway, a huge winning margin of nearly 300 points. So great to have such a game. Always good fun. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.